Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. A very short after Fajr halaqah. And I just want to show the brother who asked me a question about the clear Quran. And I guess I could give a little more clarity and speak more clearly. Myself personally, I don't think that the clear Quran has Aqidah issues. I was more so speaking of the perspective that individuals that claims that it has Aqidah issues, and this is what they say about it. I haven't seen any scholars warn against the clear Quran that I'm aware of. I'm only aware of particular individuals that has publications, right? And they're Salafi, but they also from the Salafis that don't like anybody. Now I heard them saying something about it. They was the ones making the little memes, and I'm not going to say the names of the particular individual that I've seen saying something about it, but I will say this: they're not a graduate. They never formally studied under a scholar and got ijazahs, right? They claim to have ijazah in one small book that's probably, just to keep it 100 with you, in Arabic, it's probably like 9 pages. And they claim to have an ijazah in that. But to do one better, I'm going to show you. Now this is a very large clear Quran, because like I said, I was going through a class, and while I said don't have Aqidah mistakes, but like I say, all English translations, you can find at least 1 or 2 things, but when they go to ranking them, this is always in the top 3 or the top 4, and the top 3 is always between Sahih International, right? The Clear Quran, and the Noble Quran. And it's always a toss-up. Some feel this one is better. Some feel the Noble is number 1. Some feel Sahih International is number 1. But what I'm going to show you, so he asked me, the brother asked me what scholars approve of it. So what I'm going to show you is, first, the person who did this is a scholar. A scholar did this translation, who's strong in English and in Arabic. He's basically an Egyptian. He's a graduate. He got a PhD, right? He got a bachelor's, a master's, and a PhD from the Islamic University of Al-Azhar, right? Now, I'm going to say why I say it doesn't have Aqidah mistakes. So I'm going to open it up just so y'all can see it. So like right here, I understand there's things in the translation where they're trying to make it flow easier and more understandable for like a new shahada. Now this is a big one. It doesn't have any Arabic in it. I do have a small one right next to me that does have the Arabic in it. Now like I said, the very first time I seen these Qurans, I didn't want it, because a lot of times you find them and they don't have Arabic in them because they refer to them as a Dawah Quran. It wasn't until I took a class, it was basically a thematic class, thematic Quran class, where you breaking the Quran down into themes. And when you break it down into themes, you could better understand it. And being that everybody Arabic wasn't strong enough, and they wanted us to use the clear Quran, so they gave us all a copy with English for free. And then I took that one and went and ordered me one with the Arabic in it, so I can look at the Arabic next to it. This is what you call a thematic Quran. Let me get a little closer to this, so that y'all can see. I'm going to show y'all a few things, right? So right here, you'll notice with every ayat at the top, it'll give you the theme of what you should get from every ayat. Let me give you an example, because I know a lot of times this be clear, right? So like we using Surah 28, right? So let's see a good one. So right here, ayat number 67 or 65, right? We'll start with 65. So right here, let me see, ayat number 65. If that'll get clear enough, I don't think it will. But anyway, you will see at the top, the theme is a question. And the question is a question to the disbelievers. So it's broken down like that. Then when you read the ayat, and watch for the day he will call to them asking, what response did you give to the messengers? This is the question. So this is a question to the disbelievers. They will be too dumbstruck on that day to ask one another for answers. Then the next, coming into ayat 67, it says the true believers. So it gives a theme. And then it says, as for those who repent, believe, and do good in this world, it is the right to hope that they will be amongst the successful. So it's giving you the category of the true believers. All right. So this is where they try to, the Salafis from the side that don't really like anybody, this is where they try to say this is an Aqidah mistake, right? So one right here in the same ayat, Surah 28, ayat number 88. So in 88, it says, and the theme of it is advice to the prophet. This is the theme of these particular ayats, right? And you will see the advice that's given to the prophet. But in 88, it says, and do not invoke any other God. Because now, like I say, because it's all English, they do put God instead of Allah, except for when you get the Arabic one. Because like I said, when they had the Arabic out, they consider this a Dawah Quran. That way, if somebody throw it away, like you're a new Muslim, it's a Dawah Quran, you throw it away or you try to set it on fire or whatever people do, there's no Arabic in it. So they use stuff like God instead of Allah. But like I say, you could get them with Arabic in it, right? So it says, and do not invoke any other God with God. There is no God worthy of worship except him. Everything is bound to perish except Allah himself. Or they put he himself, right? But then, and that way all authority belongs to him, and to him you will all return, right? So because they put he himself instead of face, right? Because they want a new Muslim or the Muslims to get an understanding of when it says Allah's face, it's still referring to Allah himself. So they're not denying that Allah has a face. But then over where they put himself, I know this ain't gonna really show. Well, where they put himself, you'll see they'll put a number for a footnote. Then when you come to the bottom where the footnote is, it says, it lets you know that it says, except his face. So they're not denying that Allah has a face. And then in some areas where it say face, or it say turn to this, to Allah's, where you are, where the intent is to seek Allah's pleasure, to please Allah. But it may say face, right? So they'll put pleasure, but then they'll put in the footnotes that it's referring to Allah's face. But it's the intent is to make it easy for a new Muslim, because some people, some translations will put save his face instead of accept his face. Okay? Even in your noble, it'll be like everything appears save his face. Some people can't understand what save his face mean. You understand? So they're just trying to make it a clear, more modern English translation. Because the truth be told, some of those other people who translate English Quran, they may be like from London or the UK. They're not like an American English speaker. He's Egyptian, but he spent more time in Canada. They actually refer to him as a Canadian Egyptian. So his English is closer to an American's English. So like when you in the UK or London and them type of areas, they may use word like save his face. But for us in America, we like save his face. That's not really clear for everybody. And you can see some things like that in like the Noble Quran or Sahih International, just to give some examples. Other Qurans have save him face. So when he do where it does have face, and he just put himself or pleasure to give the reader who don't understand Arabic a better understanding of what they should get from it, he does put it down in the footnotes that the Arabic says his face. So I don't say it has Aqidah issues because it doesn't deny any attributes of Allah. It's not like they're trying to change it. Like instead of saying face means awareness or some of the other stuff that they do, he's not doing that. You understand? He just trying to give people an interpretation of what you should get from it. Okay? And then like in the verses where it's talk about Istawa, and it said instead of putting roles, he'll put established himself up on the throne. So he's not denying that Allah rose. It's not a denial. You understand? That is, in English, that is a fair translation. You see what I'm saying? Because you will see, instead of rose, some people will put ascend. And then you have some people who have a problem with ascend. And like for instance, you have like a Arabic to English translations, right, where it's word for word. Some Qurans, when you look at that and they have a style, they'll put ascend. Which ascend, like I say, I could see ascending, rising, but for some strange reason, some people connect ascend to a physical type of ascending, like getting up on a horse or something like that. So some have a problem with ascending. That's why when I answer the questions in the Aqidah thing, generally I won't use the word ascending because I know certain Muslims have a problem with that word, that English translation. So that's why I say it doesn't have Aqidah issues, because like I said, where the word face should be, and they put, and it's a verse that's really geared towards Allah's pleasure, they'll put pleasure, but at the bottom it'll put, for the Arabic it does say face. So they don't deny no attributes, and they're not trying to switch them out and change them like the Asheris or other people. You see what I'm saying? They're not denying that Allah rose. That's why I said in the video, the worst of them is to say, instead of saying establish himself up on his throne, they'll say establish his power. When they change the word throne to power in English, now that's problematic. That's problematic. So to me, it doesn't have any Aqidah issues. So, like I said, because it doesn't deny that belief system. It doesn't deny the Aqidah. Okay? And it does the same thing with the Arabic. This is just a bigger book. So like I said, for one, when you come to the front, for one, he is a scholar himself. Dr. Mustafa Khattab. You can look him up. He's a scholar himself. Now, when we went through this thematic class, this was all broken down to us, right? But it's also in here. So then when you go and look in it, this translation is also approved. It's certified. There's a certificate for it. Just like when you look in the Noble Quran, it also has a ticket number where it's a certified copy from, I think, one of the basically the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. They approved the translation. So if you look right here, let me see if I can get it close enough. Man, I know it'll be blurry, but as you can see right here, let me just read it in case it ain't clear. This translation approval, this thematic English translation of the message of the Quran has been approved by Al-Azhar Islamic Research Academy, General Department for Research, Writing and Translations in Cairo, Egypt. A copy of the certificate of approval is available upon request, translated by Dr. Mustafa Khattab, and then it gives you the number to the certificate. But then it also puts a form of a ticket where you can see that's in it, right? Then when you come through, and some of the other editors and other people who look through it, where he gives them credit and references in it, there's other scholars who helped him with the translation. So there's scholars who approve of it. Now, like I said, certain of the scholars who don't like anybody but them and whoever they say is approval, even though some of them may never been real students other than learning some Arabic, just being real, no knock to him, no diss to him, they may say he's not known, who know him. Like they know every single scholar on the face of this planet. They don't know every scholar in Africa. They don't know every scholar in Mauritania. They don't know every scholar in Egypt. They don't know every single scholar in Morocco. They don't know every scholar in Saudi Arabia. You know what I'm saying? In Syria, Kuwait, in India or Pakistan or in Malaysia. They don't know every scholar that exists. Or we don't consider them Salafi. But other scholars may. You see what I'm saying? So a scholar did this translations along with the help and assistance with other scholars. And like I said, it's always ranked in the top 3. And in some 4, because some people throw the newer translations of the Yusuf Ali, the ones that the Saudi Arabia government, but they got to be a very new translation, because Saudi Arabia and them grabbed a hold of it and went through and took a lot of what's out of it. And that's why I say some of the Yusuf Ali, the newer ones, they're not that bad. So some people still prefer them. But like I said with this one, this is a thematic Quran. The Noble isn't thematic. As a Sahih International, it isn't thematic. And when you understand thematic and you understand classes, like, let me give y'all another jewel that's in here. Right? So like, this is the Al-Fatiha. So at the top of every chapter, at the top of every single chapter, it gives you a theme. It lets you know, like this is a Meccan chapter, which is recital a total of 17 times in the 5 daily prayers, serves as a cornerstone of the Quran, and it is customary to say Ameen at the end. It sums up the relationship between the Creator and His creation. Allah, I'm saying Allah, but it do say God because it's not no Arabic. When you get the Arabic translation, it will have Allah, right? God's undisputed authority in this world and the hereafter, and humanity's constant dependence on Him for guidance and assistance. It identifies Allah as the Lord of the worlds, everything from animals and plants to humans and even angels. The underlying theme is to acknowledge that He is the only God worthy of worship, a simple truth which the disbelievers fail to grasp. All fundamental principles encapsulate in this chapter are spelled out in the rest of the Quran. which is a fact. And this is some things that you could get from tafsirs. When you come to Surah 2, Al-Baqarah, Surah Al-Baqarah, same thing. This is a Medni chapter, which takes its name from the story of the cow in verse 67 and 73. It details the main concept of the previous chapter, right? With emphasis on the qualities of the believers, disbelievers, and hypocrites. So when it starts off with your ayat, right here, your first ayat, before it starts Alif Lam Mim, you'll see where it has, inshallah, that'll show up clear, qualities of the believers. So like I said, all your ayats, it give you the thing. So it says qualities of the believers. Alif Lam Mim. This is the book, there is no doubt about it, a guide for those mindful of Allah. Which we know that's referring to having taqwa. Right? Ayat number 3. Who believe in the unseen, establish prayer, and donate from what we have provided for them. What is that? Qualities of a believer. And who believe in what has been revealed to you, O Prophet, and what was revealed before you. Qualities of a believer. This is even in your Aqidah, when you understand Aqidah, this is referring to what the Wahi, what people refer to as books, who believe in the Quran and what was sent before you, right? And have sure faith, iman, in the hereafter. These is qualities of the believer. Now, by the way it put it, thematic, some people wouldn't necessarily be able to extract that these is qualities of a believer from maybe a Noble or Sahih International, right? Then it continued, it is they who are truly guided by their Lord, and it is they who will be successful. Then it comes to the next section, right? Qualities of the disbelievers. And then it goes to ayat number 6. As for those who persist in disbelief, it is the same whether you warn them or not. They will never believe. They sealed up. Allah, where it says God. Now this is why I say, when I refer to certain people as sealed up, right? This is where I get it from. So then ayah number 7, it do say God, but I'm going to say Allah. Allah has sealed their hearts and their hearing, and their sight is covered. They will suffer a tremendous punishment. This is the qualities of a disbeliever, right? When you see them persist in the disbelief, it's the same whether you warn them or not. It don't matter where you tell them. It don't matter if you tell them, show them Daleel, show them proof. They won't change. So when you see that in a Muslim, then you're knowing, without putting a label on them, it's a very strong possibility that Allah Azza wa Jal sealed them up. They sealed up, right? There's a seal been put on their heart. There's a seal that's been put on their hearing. And that's a seal that's been put on their sight, where they don't have any firasa, no farsightedness. They can't even see the state of ignorance that they're in. So when you hear me refer to somebody as sealed up, I'm referring to the Quran ayats, because they fit in these qualities perfectly. So that's, by this being thematic, this is extremely beneficial. So for somebody to go through a nitpick, because they may put pleasure instead of face, but make it clear in the footnotes that the Arabic says face. So they're not denying Allah's face. And they're not trying to change it like face meaning awareness. They're just trying to help the reader interpret that this is referring to Allah Himself. This is a part that's referring to trying to please Allah. And we know when we do something fi sabilillah, when you do something fi sabilillah, you're doing it for the pleasure of Allah. You're trying to please Allah. So these translations are fair. Establishing Himself up on the throne. This is fair. But then in the footnotes, it'll make it clear. Even though this don't have the Arabic in it, they still put it down in the footnotes that in the Arabic it says it's his face. So even when you just to read a little more, so now it comes like when you look at the theme at the top, then you'll see where it's breaking down coming into the next ayat. It'll say qualities of the hypocrites. And then as you read it, and there are some who say, we believe in Allah and the last day. Muslims, yet they are not true believers. These is qualities of a hypocrite. They seek to deceive Allah and the believers. So not only are they trying to fool Allah, they trying to fool the Muslims. They trying to fool the mu'mins. Yet they only deceive themselves, but they fail to perceive it. They don't even know they fooling themselves. And see, this is the beauty of it, because it's going to give you the qualities of the believer, starting off in the Quran. And they're putting it in a theme so that you can break it down and see it. They break it down for you. Then it comes into the qualities of the disbelievers. Then it breaks down the qualities of a hypocrite. And they don't even know they're fooling themselves. And then what it say? There is a sickness in their hearts. This is the same sickness that I be talking about in my videos, right? And Allah only let their sickness increase. They're going to get worse, right? They will suffer a painful punishment for their lies. When they are told, do not spread corruption in the land, they reply, we are only peacemakers, i.e., telling people, don't do what's legislated in Islam, because that's not black culture. That's not what black people do. You're spreading corruption, but you can't even perceive it. You understand? Don't eat with your right hand. Why not? That's what Arabs do. Don't wear your pants above your ankles. Well, why not? Because that's what Arabs do. They're spreading corruption, but they can't perceive it. They sealed up, right? But they claim to be the peacemakers. They claim to be the ones that's calling what's right. So as beautiful and as thematic that this is, wallahi, I done had to take classes. I done took more than one class on thematic style of the Quran. And like I said, when we did this one, for everybody, Arabic isn't that strong. This is an actual science in Islam. They had us use the clear Quran. You could see his scholarship in the way he breaks. And they, like I said, if you look at it, every ayat, I'll just tell people it has a title. Right there, these things right here, this is the titles, so you could break down what you should be getting from the ayats. Look at this right here. They say we are only the peacemakers. We the one doing the good. We the one trying to set it right, right? Indeed, it is they who are the corruptors, but they fail to perceive it. They don't understand it. They can't process it. This is one of the punishments from Allah. And when they are told, believe as the others believe, do what Rasul Allah and them did. Do what they doing. No, we ain't doing that. That's Arab stuff, right? Well, why would we do what them fools is doing? That's culture, not Islam. Right? They reply, we will believe what we believe as the fools believe. Huh? Indeed, it is they who are the fools, but they do not know. So it even continues on, but when you look at it, you look at your theme, it's giving you the qualities of the hypocrites. So, like I said, individuals going through telling people to throw this whole entire Quran away with all the beauty, all the history, the way it's broke down in things, letting you know this is Madani, this is Meccan, this is what you should be getting from this whole entire, this is the concept that you should get from this surah. And then it break down the ayats the qualities of the hypocrites. And then after it go through the qualities, it comes to the next title, hypocrite examples. Examples of hypocrites. Ayah number 17. Their example is that of someone who kindles a fire, but when it lights up all around them, Allah takes away their light, leaving them in complete darkness. Beautiful. And this just the English. This ain't even the Arabic. But like I said, the Arabic is beautiful. So it gives one example, then it comes again. Another example of hypocrites. The next things, order to worship Allah alone. Let's look at it. O humanity, worship your Lord who created you and those before you, so that you may become mindful, have taqwa of him. He is the one who has made the earth a place of settlement for you, and the sky a canopy, and sends down rain from the sky, causing fruits to grow as a provision for you. So do not knowingly set up equals to Allah in worship. The challenge of the Quran. And if you are in a doubt about what we have revealed to our servants, then produce a chapter like it, and call your helpers other than Allah, whoever you worship, whoever you feel like call Fard Muhammad and have Fard Muhammad, being that he's Allah in person, have him help you come up with a chapter of the Quran just like it, without stealing from it. Right? And the challenge started off a chapter, then it broke down to ayats. Right? So call your helpers other than Allah if what you say about them is true. But like I say, the challenge of the Quran. So like I said, man, this is a thematic Quran. It's written in themes. Very helpful, very beneficial. And like I said, in areas where it may say something about Allah's face, and they may put seeking Allah's pleasure instead of seeking Allah's face, because some people might not understand it's saying seeking Allah's face when it's referring to the pleasure of Allah. So he put pleasure, but at the bottom, like I said in the footnote, he will put in the Arabic, it says his face. So there's no denial. There's no Aqidah issues for me, because they're not denying anything, and the benefits far outweigh that little couple of, and like I said, it's only 3-4 little ayats. You know what I'm saying? It's 114 chapters. Y'all done picked out 3-4 little ayats, as beautiful as this is. Because, and like I said, they're not scholars, they're not students. And again, this thematic translation has been approved and certified by Al-Azhar University in Egypt. Okay? It's still a prestigious Sunni university. Everybody know about Al-Azhar University. When you really talk about your main universities, they're going to say the University in Mecca, the University in Medina, and the University in Egypt. Al-Azhar. These usually the top 3 that get named. So this is definitely an approved and certified copy of an English translation of the Quran that was written by a scholar. It's some people who aren't scholars, okay, that went through and tried to nitpick something what the footnotes give you. You understand? And like I said, generally every English translation, if you want to, you could go through and find something. Some people, like I said, some people have a problem with stuff like save Allah. Some people have a problem with certain things that put in parentheses to give you a certain understanding. So like I said, man, and then like right here, to show y'all, like this one right here, this is the Arabic version. And I went through, wallahi, I done read completely both of these, went through, marked them, got my own personal footnotes and things that I can reference back to. So I'm a person who done completely read both of them. Even when you go through here, I got a lot of my own personal footnotes and things that I can reference back to. So it ain't like somebody told me something and I went and looked at one or little two things problematic. I done completely read both of these several times. Okay? Several times. And I'm not even going to get into the kirats. As a matter of fact, I don't recommend this Quran yet, but I'm loving it. I'm going to go ahead and show it to people. In case anything happen to me where I don't completely get through it and I can't reference this to people. As y'all can see, I already got my little highlights and stickers in here. Okay? So I'm getting through it. And then you can see where I got little folds and different folding little pages for certain things because my suratul calf. This one right here is written based off of the 10 kirats. So they also use certain words in here based off the kirats, what's closer to the Arabic. Very beautiful, but I want to go all the way through it for myself. Of course, it got the English, it got the Arabic, everything in it. I haven't completed it yet, but you can see where I got my little markings, my notes. I'm putting my little tabs in them. I haven't got through it yet. And because the way it's paperback, they don't have it in hardback. And it's a big book. I got a little tears because I carry it around. Let me show you what I did. Hold on, Doc, keep 1 second. And then I'm going to go ahead and end this. See, here go another one. I got me 2 of them. Once I started digging into it, and I couldn't find a proper cover for it to protect it because it's so big, I got me 2 of them. This is my at-home one. Okay? This is my travel one. Alright? By the time I get through the whole thing, it's probably going to be full of these. You understand? But I'm loving it. And when you understand the kirats, and that's the problem, everybody don't understand the 7 kirats of the Quran. Some words, the way that they put when it comes to grammar, the meaning gets stronger or it make it more definite. So to be honest with you, I know that some of the translations and some of the stuff they use in English is from a different kirat. I know that. But I don't really talk to it because everybody don't understand that language of kirats. So it's hard to get them to understand it. Now because this one is out, I'm going to be honest, they starting to recommend this one as the number 1 above the clear and above the Noble and Sahih International because they keep it in accordance with trying to put a translation or an interpretation of what the word, they really doing it Arabic to the closest to English without, so you really get, this is the closest to the Arabic. Okay? Not translation giving you a meaning the way that you should understand it. This is the closest to the Arabic in all 10 kirats. So, and then like in the footnotes, just to give y'all an example, it'll break down how definite, how indefinite, how strong it is. Like if it go from Malik to Malik, the difference is in between those names of Allah. It'll give you whether it's getting stronger. In the footnotes, it break down every single kirat. So like I said, I haven't really necessarily recommended this yet because I want to complete it first. Just like the same with the clear Quran. I rejected them in the very beginning because I didn't see one with Arabic in it. I didn't even really look at it. I just rejected it. I was at a masjid that was giving them away. I took a couple of them and then gave them away to like a new Muslim because I understood this is Dawah Quran. There's no Arabic in it. So you can get something from it, but if you decide to throw it away or whatever, no harm, no foul because there's no Arabic in it. It was the class. Just like 2 years ago, I took another class on the Quran and they used the Sahih International. And I went ahead and bought me a Sahih International and did that class. The Sahih International is pretty decent too. And Then I gave away the Sahih Internationals that I had to one of the Muslims to give to somebody he know. But like I said, until I went through the whole entire clear Quran, and I went through the class, I didn't recommend it to anybody until I completed it. So I'm not 100% recommending it, but so far, this like this. So I read a lot of, like I said, I done read the Muhammad Pickthall, the Nuruddin Durkee, basically. I done read the Yusuf Ali's. I done read the Shakur something. Basically, they was the Ahmadiyyan ones. I started off with them. The Muhammad Mulanas, I started off with them. You know what I'm saying? So, and I will say this. When it comes to the clear Quran, you will never get me to give them up because it's thematic. It's thematic. And when you actually sit in a thematic class about the Quran and they break down the theme, especially one of those strong scholars that understand the theme of Quran, when you sit in a thematic class and they break down certain history and things with the ayats, because it's a little bit different than tafsirs. When you understand the theme, alhamdulillah, man. You will never get me to give my clear Quran up. Ever. One of them cats come to me, oh man, that thing, man, they changed this, that. Get out of here. That's the only thing I got for them. You know what I'm saying? Do the benefits, you consider that harm. But do the benefits outweigh the couple of little ayats that y'all nitpicking? Get out of here. Especially when they put in the footnotes that it says face. But you still nitpicking. Why? Because y'all want to act like y'all got the magic beans for everybody. We the gatekeepers. We got the stronghold on everything. Nothing is approved unless we approve it. Get out of here. So, that's, inshallah, man, I answered the brother question in full detail. I didn't want to text it all out. I really wanted him to understand. And then I wanted to show him, one, this brother is a scholar himself, regardless of whether people want to accept him or not. Two, this is a thematic Quran. Loads of benefit in it. You will never get me to give it up. Ever. You know what I'm saying? And it's been approved and certified by Al-Azhar University and their research department, which is full of what? Scholars. Alright? Then he had other scholars proofread it and go through what they think about it, how close it is to the Arabic. What about this little word, changing this in English? Yeah, that's cool. But at the bottom, make sure you put, it says Allah's face for the nitpickers. The ones who's going to tell people to throw away this benefit that you can't get it out of any other Quran right now. The clear Quran has benefits that you can't even get out of any other Quran in English. Get out of here. Especially when you understand the science of thematic Quran, where it's broken down in themes. This is a science. You understand? These is things that the Sahaba and Rasulullah and them understood because it was the way it was being revealed. So, like I said, man, them cats always find something wrong with something. Get out of here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.